Well, actually, it's a comment I'd like to make to the gentleman there on the left. You know, the most important thing I feel here tonight is the rule of law. May I suggest to you that, as you are a good lawyer, why don't a lot of lawyers who studied in London go to Cyprus and join the politics and change the culture of the time, of the place? Because whatever happens in Cyprus, if they're going to be the way they are now, it won't be worth the solution.
Thank you for your comment. Thank you very much.
I have some sympathy with you. The problem that far too many lawyer politicians have in the world, as well as in Cyprus, is they didn't spend enough time as students cherishing the values that we hold dear in the West. They spent far too much of their time mixing in their own little circles and not embracing the values that we hold dear. Mr. Galdunas is an exception. There are other exceptions in Cyprus. And I accept that there are far too many lawyers in politics and we need a broader pool of people. But I don't think our politicians here, who are lawyers by profession, really understand the values that they hold dear. Can I just mention some names to you? Ex-Prime Minister Blair, Jeff Hu, Jack Straw.
Yeah, but those are facts anyway.
But it makes, you've helped me make the point that just because you're a lawyer doesn't mean that you cherish the values upon which our profession rests. And we need more people in Cyprus, and I instill my students in these values, and hopefully they will go on and succeed in whatever careers they go into. But these are values that we must instill in our next generation. Not enough universities do this. We have a great report by Lord Hunt for the Law Society in which he emphasises the need to instill ethics and professionalism in our law students, because there's been too much emphasis in the past on just teaching them legislation. And there's a crucial distinction between legislation and the values and ethics of our profession. And we need politicians in the future to have values and ethics, irrespective of their professional background. And that's my main argument. We need the next generation who are here today to carry the torch into the future with those traditional values.
Thank you. Next question, please. We've got a lot of people wanting to ask questions. Could I have the chap in the middle there? Just take a couple from this side and I'll go back to you there. Don't worry.
Yes, good evening. I represent both myself and my wife were both refugees from Irina, and we share the emotional torment and obviously the emotional values of Mr. Apostolides, who clearly won the case, and we congratulate him for that. My question is the following. We have full faith on the Cyprus issues for the legal profession, who really have done the good work over the last few years. The question is, what do you do if you cross the border? How do you face? If you decide to go to the commission on the other side of the island.
You mean the line?
Yes, absolutely. Would you have the same sort of faith in the legal profession in the north? And how do you go about it? Because clearly that's a major issue. I hope I'm speaking with a lot of refugees who really do not know the process, how to go about regaining the love that they were born in. And I think that's important for the department to advise us on the issue. Thank you.
Yes, I'll ask Mr. Gallagher's answer.
Of course not. Of course there's no faith in what's going on in the north. Absolutely, but we have no other option. And we have to go. But the good thing about the IPC, or one of the good things about the IPC as it is today, you don't need to be represented by a Turkish lawyer. You don't need to be represented by a lawyer. You can be represented either by yourself or by a friend, or by, I don't know, by a friend architect, by a friend grocer, by anyone. So you don't need a lawyer to go to the IPC, and it doesn't have to be a Turkish person who does that. But if one is not happy with the outcome, and this is what I've been talking about, if one is not happy with the outcome, one can go to the European Court of Human Rights and say, look, this is not an effective remedy. And this is the only way to do it. One has to go first to the IPC before one goes back to the European Court of Human Rights. Now, what's happening? What's happening here? We had the hearing of the Dimopoulos case back in November. Okay. Did you know that the government, the parties went to the hearing and they did not have any minutes to show what a joke the procedures at the IPC were. Nobody bothered. I mean, there have been cases, something like 400 cases, 400 applications. Okay, there had been hearings, and nobody thought of actually sending someone to take notes or asking for minutes so that they could show to the European Court what a mockery of a procedure that was. And the one thing I've done, the first day that this judgment came out, I put on my best suit and a matching tie. I crossed to the north. I asked, where is this IPC? I went to the IPC. I said, is there someone who speaks English here? And I said, my name is Kandunas. This is my card. And I would like to ask a few questions. And I asked about whether one has to be represented by a Turkish Cypriot lawyer. And I was told no. I asked whether one could take notes. I was told yes. I asked, okay, could I bring my secretary to take notes? I was told no. And I said, okay, could one be represented by two people? And he said yes. So basically, you know, you are represented by someone who wants and the secretary at the same time who can take notes. So at the end of the day, if you're not happy with the outcome, then you can go back to the European Court of Human Rights and say, look, this is what really happened.
Clearly, the whole thing is done in Turkish. And there's a great from able to follow. And the other thing is, do you have to go to their high court there as well? Because that's the other issue. You don't mind going for commission, but you have to proceed to the further stage.
Yeah. Actually, I think the best way to go about it is by first reading the law, or whatever it is that you want to call it. It provides that if there's a hearing at the IPC, it has to be done in English because of the foreign judges. Okay, so it's not done in Turkish. But if a hearing is in Turkish, okay, then you can always be provided with a translator, or you can take your own translator. I mean, you have to make do with what's available, okay, and you have to make the best of what there is there, and this is the best we can do. And what I'm saying is, don't just let it sort of be diluted. Don't just give it away. Fight for it.
Can we ask the gentleman on the left there? The microphone.
Good evening, my name is Tiago Luis. First of all, I would like to congratulate Mr. Gambounas and Mr. Apostolides for the successful case that they had, although I feel the ramifications may prove more harmful than beneficial. I also agree with Mr. Kyriakidis and Mr. Gouloutas regarding embracing the rule of law. I am somewhat baffled because, facts as I understand them, everything about the occupied area of Cyprus is illegal. It's been established legally and politically. One of the key points that came out of Mr. Apostolides' case was that the Orams were trespassing on his property. In my view, there's no distinction between the Orams and the illegal occupiers in the occupied area, because they are likewise trespassing on our properties. So I'm asking myself a question based on what Mr. Kyriakidis and Mr. Gouloutas has said, that how can I successfully apply the law or seek fairness if I'm being obliged to exercise my legal rights by applying to an illegal entity for justification of my claim? That's the first point. The second point is, since I'm a European citizen and I have protection under the chapter of the fundamental human rights, does a panel consider that my human rights are being violated by me being forced to exercise my rights by applying to an illegal regime for compensation? And lastly, may I say that I fully agree that what Mr. Christophis has said, that if there's going to be any application to the IPC, it should be done en masse. Everybody should collectively do it, rather than individually. Thank you.
No,
Did you hear what I said?
yeah, did Mr. Christophis actually say that?
No. Well, no. I thought we said that Mr. Christophis said to stop applying or not to apply. Okay? Well, I thought he meant stopped a party division?
No, no, no.
No?
No, no, no.
Well, in that case, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Okay.